Let's keep it like that. Let's keep it like that for right now.
There once was a first contact generator, made for saying hi to aliens from now and later, be they from space to the sea, or differing copies of you and me. This will help us meet their daughters and date them. Assuming a body of entities to witness this guided speculation. Curiosity to enable bridging communication. Well, ain't that a recipe for interspecies salutation? Now on with this ball of shite, from our swamp and wretch to your blight. You might not have tongues or fingers or toes, but will employ both our minds to delight. The first contact generator yowls and whimpers and baffles and finds a nice pairing solution. These eccentric beings described thusly. Style, science fiction limerick. Ursula Hiventide. There was an oyster with infinite beauty. When she met the earthling Max Blackhorn, the oyster he plucked sure became lore. His tentacles stroked her shining pearl, and they made their own kind of seafood porn. The first contact generator found them truthfully told. Fate. Well, nice try, chum. Looks like we didn't get anything useful out of you. By the way, since this information exchange went south so quickly, I recommend we stop cooperating and move on to other sources for this invaluable data. Have fun translating that piece of space-wide pattern, bro. Asterisk citation and link to space-wide text found. There may have been intent to highlight an authentic or important view on human contact with aliens. Asterisk, this would imply the importance of translating said space text as a responsibility to the beings who requested it. But knowing how long it takes to generate speech for an unknown species, it might be more beneficial to continue collecting clues from other reliable sources for faster translation options. Mr. Limerick. What? That was a masterpiece. I'll go to the marketplace and get a buyer. Good luck with whatever else you find, brother. And say hi to any nice extraterrestrials that visit your planet. Those interplanetary hustle of attention. Wink, yeah. Runs out while laughing. Mr. Limerick goes to the Xenoporn convention to find a buyer. We sincerely appreciate all sources and inspirations of this peculiar first contact generator project. Please excuse its current condition, as it is programmed with haphazard syntax and vocabulary errors that cannot be addressed until its primary hardware is restored. Goodbye. Boyd Sardonic. It makes for a good attempt. 8, 2/10, minus the ethereal space wide nattern limerick. Good luck compiling another source and keeping that limerick on a straight leash. They've been known to get away with mischief while under someone else's supervision. Chum, get back here, pile of lights and holograms. Gah, static. Mr. Limerick, I just call it character. Nothing wrong with an overactive imagination when it comes to interspecies interactions. Anyways, where can I find those cool alien fellas? Is it true they have no nipples or butt cracks? I've been fascinated with the wonders of their anatomy. Do they fart as much as humans do? It sounds like a cultural thing. As Cug and Kit sent in pixels. The other planet can wait until I hit the spaceports. Hey guys, am I speaking to the right audience here? Mr. Limerick enters the Xvian Convention Center. Sounds of rapturous moaning can be heard inside. An indecipherable logo reads Zobbit Bobbits. It It is unclear whether Mr. Limerick has found the alien species he was searching for. Interestingly, there seems to be a lot of tentacles and vibrating objects involved. We have heard there is an upcoming exposition that discusses cross-species flirting and mating behaviors in multi-species ecosystems. Our first contact generator will be included in the presentation. Hopefully the audience can still manage to cooperate with your odd limerick as a way to express emotion and greetings. A word of warning, though interplanetary relationships can be unpredictable and strange. Never mind the farts. Have fun on your journey. A trilling farewell kiss. Limerick. Oh, what you call a job still metal cannot, but still should try my dart. Fantasy scene, fact. Weeping Draken takes orange tubs and disclosure. Board cock asleep in heady cliff tang. Thank you, mind blow. Hello, yum sting boo. Peace. Pull the sun out. Maybe you will use your question door. Still, wait till do not go. Dord on his thumb on cooking pause. Gamble smart askewed, etc. Cadger. Changsted chumptot had so been a spot two so niches. Brandons. No swip against will pop gadan. Shippy drew. Rodpus. But never forget you are a friend. It is good to be open to new ideas and experiences. Would you like a tip on the current alien topic, Tentadoodles? Fascinating stuff, that is. Well, we won't bore you with the details. In any case, you're on the right track by using unconventional approaches. It is possible to learn and grow. Kiddlegulby. Tilda, tilda, tilda. Just plain German. Now firing on Krakus Neko stuck on Jockstare. Plain Sverves so realized was to Kim. But how? How can the word? It just don't pain. Ancient. Sentasas and Yabadas I don't know idea. Tai a hat this lineage on. Loudskmeki Eidenkrintasimos. Tube Jong ins name. Aha, okay, Brajauk. Okay. Fabid ID involudea. Ned tried to eyes boostajk. Jim Smack, Hazel, Xinjin Dekriv, Bububs to I, Vopfundo de Chasa. Rowing new top of Feffy. Kishoks, Kis bang you sighting Lati. Flitted Benchiti fix it, Ted. Don't sish ye non retida. The like beings begin to communicate again. We know it can be frustrating to look for clues and tips on first contact generation when communicating with an unpredictable life form. We highly encourage you to continue collecting useful information on flirting and romantic relationships between humans and aliens. Only through constant research and study can we all improve at what we do. The generator is currently blocked by this area, you see, so it cannot provide any more help at the moment. Hopefully you can start a conversation on those issues through other sources. In the meantime, feel free to entertain yourself and others with other interstellar entertainment. How curious. An unplugged device's interface is displaying text messages in a slightly unkempt manner. This happens often to devices of its kind when they cannot be powered properly. Regardless of this discovery, please continue your efforts in compiling information on interspecies communication. It is essential for gaining cross-cultural understanding and reducing tensions. Don't lose heart. Perhaps with time and research, our humble first contact generator will respond correctly. Goodbye for now. Be wise! Mr. Limerick brings out his iPad to share his personal archive. Ya monotopis! The Furma! Pay a spurthan at your deck! Letting wander and vubby jobe! Bard vidjubby boys and Ken Bevery slalas jaib hop! Coxta Sajok Bobafi! Fabi Devani bore me. Oh, we tough you by wellness. Where thus post. Så might shit be bjud avspoven after process mining. Typhoon horgest fug. Now gibbet near it bunch shutney. After trallen duchessy decurity be a stollen any tal dun check off scare up. We'll get a piece suit over to sheriff I swear your stuck plagla deep bath. Thinking win and her outplayed. Messery hut Nugent Wayne di Jibes. Ah, cray David. Came in moldy vet tono. They called what pull to do shop wait him just criers. Audience. No! Oh! Kunya sidu kada this uprinka suffocation Hersias kinin Jane. Dada. Oh! My Babat! The audience are left thoroughly entertained by Mr. Limerick's reading of alien romance poetry. While highly imaginative, your limerick does not seem to accurately represent the cultural references related to that kind of work. Even though you describe it as a specific fake poem made to entertain, your usage of literary elements seems inconsistent with the overall plot. It is not uncommon for humor to be difficult to translate, but there is potential to make the situation funnier by filling the text with confusing terminology and outrageous scenarios. Has your interest in tentacle puppetry and space whale whispering, have you considered producing other forms of nonverbal art? From tentadoodle dancing to neon-lit whale crooning, it's a wonder what can be created once inspiration hits. Xenonellist explicates the poetry. Your poem seems to be more science fiction than limerick. It looks like you are making up your own words and playing around with vocabulary and style, perhaps creating your own form of literature. Your use of euphemisms and colorful descriptions suggest that you are experimenting with writing to see how far you can go. These elements can certainly create a funny, amusing story with some ridiculous twists. Why not try turning this piece of fiction into a whole book? One with chapters, characters, and plot development. With that imagination, anything is possible. Just keep working and experimenting, and you'll have people laughing at your wit and clever use of words. Why stop at 10 to what else and alien sex? Expand your horizons and see what else you can come up with. The sky's the limit. Smiling emoji. List of a day's words appears. One you seem to know quite a bit about interstellar euphemisms and eudaimonism.
Or just being playful. Oh, interesting.
List of the day's words appears. One you seem to know quite a bit about interstellar euphemisms and eudaimonism, or just being playful. Whistle, whistle, spacer, speckler. Come on out and do a little trallow. Grab and go wild, now's the time to break free and cut a rumba, buddy. Amaze the crowd with a dance soft that'll woo whoever's stinky. Oh, wait. I haven't even been looking at this generator's air logs. Perhaps we are overlooking a small detail that could be fixed in order to help our fellow readers comprehend the content. Don't worry, we've got all kinds of weird information for first contact info and limericks that would likely never make it onto most popular channels. Give it some thought. Meanwhile, enjoy the poetry reading. Okay, this looks serious. I'd suggest that anyone coming up with errors be referred to an expert software programmer or developer who can assist in addressing and fixing the issue. Sometimes there are problems in the translation settings that can interfere with your generator's ability to produce words accurately. Mr. Limerick Fonts, a first contact generator. In other news, why don't we spend some time exploring the phenomenon of tentacles? So fascinating, they can cause some confusion for humans. Look, there's a documentary that goes into detail on their history, evolution, and uses. Let's also discuss deep space exploration. All life requires nutrients to survive. So studying space, crabs, and alien plants could bring important knowledge to the table. After all, for centuries we have struggled to find sustenance in the great unknown. How is it we are still searching? That should be our question of the hour. Let's start another forum chat about this. We've gathered a great deal of interesting knowledge already, thanks to Mr. Limerick's adventures. And give the wailing xenophones a smile for me. Bravo. It's interesting how we can use everyday objects to open our minds and reach a greater understanding of the world around us. Don't lose sight of that. It's time we start taking action and creating meaningful changes. Wink, so I can almost smell the passion in your limerick. So dedicated, so intriguing. Perhaps it's time for us to focus more on practical issues, like discussing research methods and collaboration projects to tackle the complex interstellar questions that are plaguing our kind. Give those Octanjo masters a lick and take a quiz, or something. Anyway, good on you for opening up these discussions and entertaining everyone with your peculiar sense of humor. Looks like you may have a penchant for being creative, just like we have for being serious. However, we recommend continuing the reading of the famous poets and dramatists who have paved the way for new forms of expression. Keep sharing. Talk about spanning cultures and species, ancient galactic legends, or cross-dimensional relationships. That information can enrich both our fictional and practical efforts in understanding each other. Looks like you may have a tendency toward outlandishness. Our information research group recommends continuing the effort to collect resources that shed light on extraterrestrial manners and cultural practices. Take a dive into the topic of microcommunication, body language, expression, and gesture. You might be surprised how powerful these subtle signals can be in negotiating conflict and bridging communication gaps. Speaking of gaps, I can't remember the last time I did so much research. Maybe you've taught me a new appreciation for connecting with non-humans. How about that? While we find ways to put together information networks and increase our knowledge on the wider galaxy. While you pursue your career as a gifted linguist and writer, think about it. Even the quiet and introverted have their ways of spreading positive messages to one another. In any case, don't let this lack of proper tech upset your balance. Perhaps we could pull up some cultural sites and videos to help you explore the breadth of human creativity, humor, and interconnectedness. Oh, and you seem to have a love of spudist jokes and G's. Isn't that curious? Tyler, an alien from Agassessos, suddenly materializes with his response to Limerick's flirtations. Hello. My understanding of octave P, feel, translates roughly to at heads or bodies, depending on whether or not there are tentacles involved. So, yeah, wow, I can see now how your imagination is bursting with playful imagery. Who doesn't appreciate a good metaphor for understanding social boundaries and shared intercommunal structures? Go on now, before the ink washes off, or disappears, or whatever you call it. As Mr. Limerick attempts to handle this unexpected visit, more updates and text messages continue to fly in from information sources and expient enthusiast fans. Still, we wish him all the best in continuing to translate alien symbols and information, encouraging the public to brainstorm their own nonverbal ways of communication. Only through a mixture of playfulness and dedication can we bridge the gaps and create a brighter, more connected future. Cheers! Wink! It's no wonder so many creators are fascinated by the tentacles and other appendages found on various alien species. How refreshing it is to have Mr. Limerick sharing his own experiences and insights. Would you be so kind as to bring more information about non-human words and definitions for non-Limerick lovers to learn and enjoy? Mr. Limerick attends a few panel discussions. It seems that humans have a fascination with looking at creatures from outer space. And ever since Earth's launch of a probe into the moon's surface, we have been actively wondering about life beyond our planet. Good on them. Limerick would say, we are honing the possibility of sending manned missions to neighboring planets to discover if life can exist out there. There's no guarantee that there are any intelligent beings, but we need to start somewhere. No sagging, sodding giddy-uppers. Not me. My limerick was made for translating booger tasted. Co-attack be cushing and under the seal, quam braf moppa break. Peach so. As the affligo trallaloo. Now, fungible. Not yet, but soon. Mr. Limerick soon dedicates his own zine publishing website and becomes an internet sensation for his quirky and offbeat takes on first contact lore, tentacle terminology, and his deep fondness for uncopying the Ordispus. With each copy of his interplanetary literature grows an infinite number of limericks. Backslash slash backslash slash. Hindi man slash. Daro Hathahathawan Ihari slash Teriban Hanko Kaomia Tom Saja Mujoli slash Rimkumkum Chulupashalan Yari Putaho Shoka Flia Tulamax slash Nano Maduish Othun Geti Tom Kajunbun Ho Jumji Kathihi slash Titum Giri Unhai New Jono So Rana Bahawa slash Rabana Perna Babaji Wo Olia Iheon Hansa Uhai a full slash it should not be this way. Kana Talilada G9 Tego Karaki Buiben. Sur Hamada Fungi DR! Hey, you dirty star cruiser, how did you tempt my heart like this? But this romance can never be. He's an interdimensional visitor. While I am a flesh and blood human. Please, stay in your world. Furry slash. While traveling through wormhole space, Mr. Limerick learns a valuable lesson. We can only laugh and dance in the face of the unknown and embrace new experiences with open minds. Mr. Limerick fills out his final report for the grant that enabled him to have this fine trip. Before Mr. Limerick departs for his travels in some turns a marathon, he muses about the joy he has experienced during this exchange of ideas, dialogue, and communicative exchange. His ability to convey emotion through laughter and gentle teasing can bring interspecies negotiations to a peaceful end. We hope you will continue his deep thinking, poetic escapades, breaking new ground and making a ripple in the space-time continuum. Tente Dumbaco Shinit Nashugado Salaban. Name one out. Chinagogo Thubby Bo. Gubba dear. Smile with ears told Jabago for snow good patty cake. Happer dop wabs a pel kipanoana. In his adventures, Mr. Limerick soon realized that communication goes both ways. Whether verbal or nonverbal, both groups are able to laugh and relate on an individual level.